Absolutely beautiful. Let me take you back to 2011. It's the All Africa Games in Mozambique. Now, after this particular tournament, you decided to call it quits. I mean, hang up your football boots and then move on to a different sphere of your life. Some might argue that you might have retired a little bit too early. Take us through what was going on in your mind at the time when you decided to hang up your football boots.
Yeah, sure. Aaron, you know a lot. But yeah, it was a tough time for me. If you remember, Aaron, in South Africa, we don't necessarily have a professional setup in terms of our soccer for women, especially. So I was at the time having to juggle my school fees and my own bills and, just making life. And at some point, I had to, rely on my qualification for become accounting and get a job. So that also affected my job. That I'll just take off and go and play football for a good month, I'm away from work, and I've got my deliverables at work that I have to look after, and so that was a clash. It wasn't smooth sailing. When you're a student athlete, the university will always be supporting you, but once you hit the corporate ladder, you have to make some choices. So unfortunately, I had to take that journey of saying, okay, soccer, it's been great. I have to go down corporate ladder now. Another thing was the constant injuries that I had, especially on my knee. I didn't seem to have any joy. Every time I tried to play, I have to be sidelined because of my injuries. So it was a terrible time for me. I think a sad time because I had to let go of my one true love and focus on another love. So very unfortunate, having to sit my parents down and say, yeah, this is it. We have to bow down gracefully now. And but I love the support that I got most, especially from my family and my friends, my close friends. They supported me wholeheartedly. It was sad because there's no more going to the airport to go pick me up, living the high life. There's none of that anymore. But I love the support that I got from my family, from my friends, and also from my club, UJ at the time. Everybody was just huddling around me and just giving me a strong hug to say we are with you. So yeah, sad to have hung up my boots so early, but yeah, it's one of those.
Definitely. You talk about your retirement, but I would like to go into your journey as a football coach. Let's talk a little bit about Wits University and some of the amazing achievements that you achieved with Wits, but also let's talk about the transition from the 5 years that you spent at Wits, now moving over to UJ.
Yeah. I mean, Vets afforded me my first official coaching role. And not only was it official, I was the head coach, so it was a big jump in my career where I was getting my badges. I was transitioning from playing because even after I retired internationally, I still continued for my club. So when Vets called out, I said, okay, maybe this could be a new challenge that I can venture into. Let's see the new Dunga, the coach now. Let's see how I experience that life. And it's been an amazing journey with Vets. It's been an up and down. Sometimes it's stagnant, sometimes it's just fast paced, sometimes it's very high, and sometimes some other days it will be so low. And but I appreciate everything that I went through because I think it molded me to be the kind of coach that I am today. Some of the achievements that I can make mention of was, being able to win the regional league the first season that I got there, and also the second season, two-time regional league champion with Vets, a first, and also being promoted to the Sasol League. And in our first season, we just achieved position 5, and in the same year, we were now, a strong team that managed to finish on the third position for the university competitions, 𝗀𝗍𝗋, and all of this was happening in a very short space. Like I say, it's one of those fast paced where I was like, okay, we're achieving big things now. We're doing big things, and in a way, just also writing our name into the history of this amazing institution. Wits University, is one of the oldest institutions in this country. And also even last year before I left, at some point we were gunning for the promotion to the Hollywood Bets League, but unfortunately we finished third, and which is also still a very great thing. I look back and I smile when I think of all these achievements that we've got, amongst others as well, having to promote about 5 junior players into the junior structures under 20 national team. That was also something where I was like, wow, Dunga, you can actually do this. You are quite an influential someone. You don't need to be gaslighting yourself. It is what it is. But my journey with Wits was truly an amazing one which is full of great memories, and I'm entirely grateful to the management of Wits University and Wits Sports. Yes, like I say, I'm someone who enjoys challenges, Aaron. I love being challenged. I love being sparked up, and it had been an amazing 5 years. And I said, look, let's try something new. Let's see what's over the rainbow. Can we get the pot of gold? What's happening at that point? And that's when UJ came calling, and I answered that call, and I said, it's a good challenge. It's in a higher league. It's with a new institution. Can I test myself again? And it's been amazing so far.
Absolutely beautiful. I would like for us to talk about values. Now, as a player, players always talk about, these are my values. As a coach, you're trying to instill certain values into your team as a whole. Talk a little bit about values, like the values that you learned as a player, and also now the values that you're now instilling into the youngsters that you are coaching.
Yeah. I appreciate my coaches for this. I've had so many coaches, and all of them, when I think back, they have the one common goal of, you have to be very disciplined when approaching football, when playing football, and you also have to be determined. You have to have a purpose why you are doing what you're doing. You keep on saying you love the game, but what is the drive? What is the driving factor behind it? And I appreciate them for that, because it has also made me realize, some of the opportunities that I've received in my playing days. It's not only the talent, but also the hard work, and that was also pushed by the discipline that they instilled in. So those are some of the values that I rolled with when I was still a player, and I try and steal from there and put it into my coaching ethics as well. You have to be disciplined, you have to be driven, you have to have a sense of purpose in your career, and you always have to stay ready, because if I always say, if I didn't train as hard as I did, even when my coaches were not there, I don't think I would have gotten the nod, for the national team. It's not only when you are playing or when they see you at that moment that they actually appreciate your talent. It's the opportunity presenting itself, and it finds you ready. But if you're not ready, if you haven't been training, if you haven't been disciplined to your journey, things will come by very tough. You will not even be able to withstand any of the opportunities that you're getting. And that's something that I drive my team with, all the teams that I've coached. Stay disciplined, stay ready. Keep on reinventing yourself every day. You cannot be the same player that you were yesterday. You have to elevate every day. And that's just, in a nutshell, who I am as well.
Beautiful. Spoken like a coach that has lifted a few trophies. I absolutely love it.
You're locked onto the Sport MVT Insider, a podcast for unrelenting coverage of women in sport. I absolutely love diving deeper into the journeys of our athletes, coaches, and administrators to get to know them a little bit better than we do. Coming up this Wednesday is an interesting round of quick fire questions, a great opportunity for some good laughs and some great banter. Keep it locked onto Sport MVT, where we celebrate our women in sport.